Sean Sewell with the Engearment.com podcast. It's been several weeks since I've hosted, and there's a lot to catch up, as I always say in every podcast, because there is a lot to catch up on, but this time there's even more. Last week, colleague Michael Clemente had a great interview with Drew Peterson discussing his movie Feel It All. It's really a great discussion. Michael and Drew really get into some very deep topics: mental health, Leadville 100, professional ski career, depression, suicidal thoughts. It's a very heavy, very moving podcast, and Feel It All is a really great movie. It's on YouTube. It's about 38 minutes long. It's free to watch. I'd recommend it, of course. But before that, we have been doing quite a bit. If you follow the channel, the YouTube channel, or Instagram, or other social media, there's a lot going on, including the Beacon Bash. It is back. We have 5 of them so far lined up. The next Beacon Bash, the 8th annual Beacon Bash, will be at Loveland instead of Winter Park. So Loveland ski area, November 16th. That's 100% free. We are now a 501c3 nonprofit, so we've streamlined all the fundraising, all the raffles from all the great gear company will go directly to benefit CAIC, Colorado Avalanche Information Center, and search and rescue of our choosing in that area. The other Beacon Bashes, we will have Ski Santa Fe, and that will benefit the Taos Rescue Mountain Dogs like we did last year. Got a really lovely calendar of those dogs on my office wall. Got to meet 2 of the 5 rescue dogs. $40,000 of training goes into each dog. It's pretty incredible. So anyways, Ski Santa Fe will have that one in the spring. We have one coming up here in Washington State. Check out beaconbash.org for more information, or Beacon Bash on Facebook for more upcoming information on that Beacon Bash in Washington State. We'll probably have one in Telluride, which I'm very excited about. I've never been to Telluride. And the 3 or 4 more. So we've turned this into something we can replicate and take it to other places, and people can carry this torch and provide. Basically what it is a free event in the parking lot of a ski resort. We set up a beacon park. What a beacon park is a little radio transmitters that are buried in the snow, and you don't know where they are. Then you get a beacon, which everybody should have a beacon, probe and shovel and education going into the backcountry. But if you never use one, we will have plenty of free beacons to use. Just return them, please. They are expensive. And you take the beacon, you go to search mode, and you try and locate the hidden radios, the little other beacons. So everybody, myself included, could use more practice with this. That's why I started Beacon Bash. It was just my friends Wade Lancaster, Will Coleman, myself wanted to go practice in a parking lot and share a pizza and go practice our beacon skills in November before we started getting into the backcountry. We put it onto our Colorado Backcountry Ski Group Facebook page, which now has like 19,000 members. It's wild, but back then it had like maybe 2,000. And we just put it in there like, hey, anybody want to meet at the top of Berthoud Pass? There's a parking lot. To just, go over beacon skills and say hello, maybe have a beer and some pizza. And something like 80 people replied. And so I think the cutoff for an event is like 70 people in one location. So then I have to get a permit, and all this stuff happened. It just spiraled into a positively out of control, fun situation. That's the Beacon Bash. So if you're in Colorado, we have at least 2 to choose from, and we'll have other ones in Western and Southwestern states. So beaconbash.org to learn more, or our Facebook or Instagram group to stay up to date on those. Okay, 3 weeks ago, we attended the Overland Mountain West Expo. The Engearment team and myself, I think we had 8 of us covering it. Devin Dowd, Clay Farnsley, and his wonderful girlfriend Jessica, and their dog Memphis, lovely little Aussie. Stephen Starks, Shay, and myself. Was there somebody else? I think that's it. Okay. So we had our group. We're spread around doing interviews, having a great time. We got a lot of videos up. I won't tell you which ones. You can just go on our YouTube channel and see them. Well, I'll tell you, they're cool. Outpost Camper, they're going to be at the Beacon Bash. They're a Colorado local company, 230. You probably know them. They're big Overland company. Free Spirit, we're actually going to go meet with Free Spirit, Devin and I, this Friday. It is a fun angle that Devin and I came up with. So, I camp every week, and I've got, like, I would say, Overland Light set up on my 4Runner, rooftop tent, 270 awning, power, plenty of power, thousands of watts of power. Water, everything I need for my dog and my wife and my friends and kids to have fun camping, just on the drop of a dime. But there are pretty impressive builds out there, and but you don't have to go overboard with overlanding. I don't think. I know overlanding originate in Australia, and they're going across pretty horrendous terrain, and so you need to be Mad Max level prepared. But here in Colorado, I think we can dial back several layers, and if you could be a single mother with 2 kids and a dog, a Honda Civic, and get a pizza on the way out of town and go camping, you're overlanding, in my opinion. Again, just my opinion. But back to the angle we're going to create, Devin and I, to help first-time overlanders. So Devin's going to approach it from a woman's standpoint with a RAV4 hybrid. We met with Bridgestone. They're sending over some AT tires for her. Free Spirit's going to get us a tent for her RAV4, so a little bit smaller than the tent that I have on top of our 4Runner. We have some things from Lightner. They make really cool, like, truck-based water canisters and truck bed assembly things. It's pretty cool what they do, Lightner. And awnings, I'll probably get her an awning as well, and some stuff to approach overlanding of what it's like from a woman's perspective, getting into overlanding, as opposed to, like, the typical demographic, which is kind of like me, or maybe somebody a little bit older than me with more resources and stuff. So we're going to build out her RAV4 and make it approachable, and, like, kind of catalog each step of the process to show you how approachable it can be and how to best undertake it. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, Free Spirit, we have a meeting with them this Friday. Vertex Vans out of Boulder, had a lot of fun hanging out with those guys. Luke was fun to hang out with. I won't go into the videos. There's a ton of videos to check out. Benchmade, good knives. But it was really cool. There's the Overland Expo official truck, or the Overland Expo, what is it? Ultimate Build, they called it. It's a GMC AT4X Canyon it's like a $200,000 build out. It's amazing. We actually were handed the keys at the expo to go take it out. So we took that out for a long weekend over Labor Day weekend to camp with, and we actually got a couple from Boston, Massachusetts out camping for their very first time using that truck setup. There's a detailed video on that. I won't go into too much more detail, but it's really quite an honor to have the official Overland vehicle out camping. It has a button for nitrous, and I did not push it because I did not want to go fast and furious on a fire road. Not trying to go crazy, but it was a nice vehicle. Get a sip of water here. So the Overland Ultimate Build, the Overland Expo Foundation Ultimate Build, I should say, is a 2-prong situation. So the Overland Expo is a big show, open to the public. There's one more, I think it's out east, so you'll have a chance to see the truck that we used. But the truck is actually a fundraising vehicle for the Overland Expo Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. So Overland Expo, regular business, trade show, open to the public. The vehicle benefits the foundation, which I met the people who run it, really nice people, and they offer grants for people and organizations out there making the outdoors more accessible, cleaning up trails, educating people in different areas. So you better believe I'm going to apply for one of those grants for the Beacon Bash, because we were outside camping in a parking lot with my Overland vehicle, educating people on how to be safe in the mountains. I mean, that is on brand right there, right? So more information on the Overland Expo Foundation can be found on our YouTube video and also their website. Coming up to, got to work with Peak Design for a backpack that launched last Tuesday. That's been my everyday carry backpack. It's such a good backpack. It's so fun because I have a prototype, and I put up the video right when the Kickstarter launched. The Kickstarter was going, I think, for like $70,000, and within like an hour, it had $500,000. So it's getting funded. So go, if you want a camera backpack for the outdoors, this is the best time to get this particular backpack because it's on the best price it's going to be. So shot a video, put it up, and immediately had like thousands of views and tons of comments. Great questions too, like really good questions. So I had to shoot a second video right away to answer those questions, to go through the features that people were asking about. And I'm going to shoot a third video next week because in the second video, which again had thousands of views, there's even more questions. And they're great questions. I would have never thought about these questions. So it's actually really fun to create these videos and interact with you guys and hopefully show you how things work. And I'm happy to do second and third videos on things because when I do a review, I'm approaching it on how I would approach the gear. But I'm just one person. There's so much I don't know. And there's so much I don't even consider. So when people do leave nice comments in the YouTube videos, I do read those and I do respond to them and or take action on them and create another video and show how the thing works. So I appreciate the good people out there leaving the good comments. I will do my best to support you. Got to work with Arc'teryx on several projects. They're so fun to work with. And also their PR company also worked with Winnebago. So Clay and Jessica and Memphis Dog went to meet with Winnebago and go through 3 of their builds. Met with their head of PR, Kamal, who was really nice. And we're going to go, of course, test out a Winnebago here in a few weeks. I think the Revel is what we're going to probably test. And it was an eye-opener. I see a lot of overland trucks and van builds and stuff, and never really thought about the financing behind it. Now, when you get something like a Winnebago, you can actually do different lease, like more like a home lease or a home purchase, more extra years, not just a 3-year loan, like a 10-year or longer. And also insurance. Oftentimes with building out vans and trucks, homeowners insurance isn't going to cover a lot of the stuff. I know I've had my truck broken into several times. So there's different insurances out there that can cover a van that's built by like Winnebago or another outfitter. So some things to consider that I never considered until we met with Winnebago. So we have a video on the Revel, Echo, and the Pocket Solus, I believe. So I think we'll be testing out the Revel here in a little bit. We have another van coming up. The Adventure Wagon is making an appearance again. I think the Ford Transit this time. Devin's going to take it out. I'm going to take it out. And then we have some teardrop trailers we're going to be testing out here very soon. So we'll get Ryan Humphreys on that. He's always so fun on videos. So stay tuned for that. What else do I got for you? Oh, there's so much going on. So much. Hokas. We do a lot of work with Hokas. This is kind of fun. So these Hokas caught a lot of attention. These are the Tecton X3. And as you can tell, I used the heck out of them. They're pretty cool. They have a built-in sock. They're pretty ugly. My wife and I had a 80s themed roller skating birthday party this last weekend, and I rocked these, an MTV t-shirt and some blue sunglasses, and fit right in. But the shoes themselves are awesome. We did some work with Hoka for, what was the shoe? The Transport Chukka GTX, which is actually a very attractive shoe. Hokas have a tendency of being, as you just saw, wildly outrageous. The Transport Chukkas I'd take on a date night. They're pretty cool. Clay has a review up on the Ombras, Camina. Saw a lot of Ombras recently. Now, there's a really big event I want to get into. This is why I'm shooting this right now. I just got back yesterday from a backpacking trip with fellow media from Treeline Reviews, CNN, I think Gear Junkie, and a couple other media outlets, as well as my friend Joshua Berman and Fat Man Little Trails. And Josh hooked me up with an autographed copy of his awesome book. There it is. Thank you, Josh. Real nice guy, great teacher, great instructor. He was a wildland forest firefighter, a hotshot, and just a real cool guy. Got to go on a backpacking trip with him and Greg, Fat Man Little Trails. He's always a hoot. He's a fun guy. I'm actually taking Greg camping in 2 weeks to Jones Pass, so might be some collaboration videos coming up there. So anywho, the 5 of us or 10 of us media people went out on a nice backpacking trip up into the mountains outside of Netherland. Nice 11-mile round trip, 3,000 feet of vert, give or take. Jasper Lake is where we went to. And I got to meet Dasha, was a really cool travel channel on Instagram, travel and gear reviews, and just a really fun person to work with. She actually has the same camera I'm shooting this video on right now. So shout out to Sony. It's good stuff. It was fun seeing these media professionals out on the trail doing the things that they talk about doing, right? We're really doing it, really testing the gear. I mean, that's a pretty dirty shoe. And so I need a sip of water before I get into the next part. Okay, so let me set the stage. What we were doing, the media professionals and myself, were invited to a backpacking trip to test out gear for next spring, 2025, from MSR, Mountain Safety Research, Thermarest, Gregory Backpacks, Royal Robbins, Crazy Creek, Platypus, Backpackers Pantry. I think that's it, but a lot of stuff. So they loaded us up with Gregory backpack. I have sweat stains. I drink so many electrolytes that I have sweat stains all over this backpack, and I was wearing a merino shirt, like I always wear merino wool shirts, and it's just like white salt. It was pretty funny. But so we're out backpacking, hiking, having a good time, and I'm hanging out with Matt from MSR from the video for the new Hubba Hubba tent. So Matt personally was with me on this trail, had a great time, and gave me the two-person Hubba Hubba LT that you saw in the video back from the Outdoor Market Alliance that so many of you commented on. And what was funny about the comments, Matt and I were having a chuckle about this, how many opinions were out there on this tent from people who have never seen it or used it. So I not only saw it in person, I used it and slept in it, carried it on my back, and I will report back on that. It actually launches this Saturday on REI, so it's coming out early. It's a spring 2025 release everywhere else, like on Backcountry and on MSR. But for REI, they worked out a deal where they're going to have these three next things available this Saturday. So I'm hoping to get a video up on each of these three next things. The Hubba Hubba LT two-person tent, the most ridiculously comfortable sleeping pad I've ever used, backpacking-wise at least, the Thermarest, what is it called? Loft. 4.6 inches thick. It's so comfortable. It's like got edges. It doesn't turn around. It's got straight edges. And then the Boost. The Boost sleeping bag that you saw in the video, I got to use. It's a 650 down, but it's got a slit in the middle that you can open up. I had it opened up because it's a 20-degree bag, and I don't think it got below 32 when we were camping. So I was plenty warm in there. And yeah, I'm hoping to have a video on all three of those by Saturday. If I don't get to the mountains tonight to shoot the video, I might wind up shooting it in our house, in our home gym. But trust me, I used it in the woods, in the mountains, had a great time. So stay tuned for that. And this is all thanks to my friends over at Verde. They're a PR company that representing these brands. And Jenna and Sienna worked their tails off putting this together. And it shows. This is my second time getting to go backpacking with them. And it's one of my favorite things of the summer. Had a great time. As you can tell. So I'll have reviews on the Crazy Creek stuff, the MSR stuff, some new trekking poles, some platypus water filters, and just a bunch of cool gear. But the three main things I wanted to get done by this weekend are that sleeping bag, the sleeping pad, and the tent that all of you are so curious about. It's going to make the gold standard of tents. Okay, we're getting caught up. This is good. This is really good. So many screens open right now. All right, I'm going to get this done in 20 minutes or less. If you're in the Denver area or want to travel to the Denver area for further education on kettlebells, I am really excited to announce that Brett Jones will be in town. He's actually staying with me. We're going to have a lot of fun. He's here for the Strong First SFG2. That's a 2-day certification course. That's advanced. You have to have the SFG1 to take the SFG2. But we'll have Annalise Analdi in town, one of my favorite people. She's so fun. So her and Brett and our fellow colleague, Abby Sylvester, will be hosting the SFG2 at our gym, Existence Athletics, here in Denver, Colorado. And that's open to Strong First people. If you know, you know. But to the public, this is a cool opportunity. Brett Jones is going to be hosting his Iron Cardio workshop. It's a 6-hour workshop. It's only $200. Get to work with Brett Jones. And my friend and owner of the gym, Ryan Humphreys, and myself are taking the course. So if you want to come to Denver, check out our gym, take a course with us, maybe get a coffee before, maybe get a meal afterwards, open invitation. I'll put a link in the video below so you can meet Brett, whose birthday was, I think, 3 days ago. So happy belated birthday, Brett. Really looking forward to having you out here in 2 weeks. It's going to be a really epic, strong weekend. And then again, the first day, Friday, is open to the public for the Iron Cardio Workshop, which is, I've taken courses from Brett since 2017. I've been aware of him for the last 15 years and taken online courses and stuff from him, but I met him in person at a SFG 1 certification in 2017. That's where I met Ryan Humphreys and a bunch of other really great people. He is the best teacher out there, best coach, best teacher out there. And so I would jump at any opportunity. I would pay $600 for this course. Brett's the best. I will vouch for that. So stuff to look forward to. Hopefully I caught you up in about 20 minutes. We have a lot more coming up, a lot of good reviews coming up. The Beacon Bash is coming up in 2 months. Snow's gonna be coming here soon. I think we had a dusting about 2 weeks ago up in the mountains. So backcountry season's coming. We'll have a lot of backcountry stuff. We'll have the split board reviews. We'll have backcountry ski reviews. I have a ton of walkie-talkies to review. So stay tuned for that. And as always, I appreciate your support over the last almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years in 3 months we'll be celebrating Engearment. So thank you to all of you out there for the support, the great questions, the feedback. We're always trying to improve. We're always trying to help. We're trying to learn, and always trying to teach how things work so you can get outside and enjoy the outdoors. I'm Sean Sewell, owner and director of Stoke for Engearment. Until next time, take care.